Okay, hi guys. Time for a very quick cup of tea with biscuits. Can you see what I did there? Anyway, how's it going, guys? Very quick, informal, one take wonder chat about stuff, sort of channel update, blah blah blah. So turn it off if you're not interested in this kind of thing. But just a little bit of what I've been up to personally and to do with the channel as well. Right now, don't know if you can see that okay, but I'm just fiddling around with my new 3-axis stabilizer. It's pretty neat that you can control it all from your phone like this. I'll show you a full tour of my scruffy little studio space. Oh yeah, down there you can see my Nintendo. Oops, go this way. You can see my Nintendo, Super Nintendo. There we go. Get you back in the room. What? It's a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily say this is the most professional way to do things, but it's quite cool that you can control it from your phone. Obviously, I'll show you what you're looking at here. That's the, can you see it? Can you see yourself? Can you see how beautiful you are? Yeah, that's the Zhiyun or however you say it, the Crane V2. So it's not the Crane 2, it's not the new one. I basically saved a shitload of money and bought an older V2 with the 3-axis stabilizers. I've been waiting quite a while because I've had them in the past. I had the Nebula 4000 Lite in the past, and I've had other, I've test drove other different stabilizers. But we're at a lovely point in the market right now that if you're going to be buying a stabilizer, the really good ones are coming right down in price. So that is fantastic. I mean, this isn't a video about the Crane or anything. It's just I just happen to be testing it at the moment. I happen to be testing the remote control, the app thing for the first time today. So that's why I'm talking about it basically. But yeah, so what I'm saying is that it's amazing now that the tech, the really approachable, easy to use, out of the box, working solid tech, like the Zhiyun Crane V1, V2, there's not much in it, are a really low price. So it's a really good time to buy your first stabilizer right now. I remember when I first bought my Nebula, that was like £850, and it had loads of issues. It was twitchy. This thing is way less than half that. And it's solid as a rock, and it's brilliant. And I've been testing it for a couple of days now, and the battery's still saying 100%. I haven't tested it with any really heavy lenses yet, but then I mean, that's one of the reasons why I didn't go for the Crane 2, because that takes much heavier payload. My cameras are quite light, my Sonys and my Panasonics are quite light, and I've got native lenses, lightweight, small native lenses, and I've got big heavy lenses as well. But if you're going to be carrying something around, you're going to want a native light lens on it. So you don't, even though the Crane 2 will take a shitload of weight, I don't want to be putting great big heavy lenses on something that I have to carry around with one hand. It's pointless. So yeah, I saved myself a bunch of money and went for the older one. Anyway, so that's that. Oh yeah, I was just showing you my Nintendo Mini SNES Classic over there. That is a brilliant console. If you want a console, this is my little studio space. And if you're just rendering a video for like 15 minutes or something, and you just want to go and sit on the couch and play a game, that's a perfect little tiny console. I've got a little cheap TV in the corner. I can play Zelda or Contra or something like that for about 10 minutes while the video's rendering, and then get back to work. And it's really good. I highly recommend it. They're quite hard to get hold of at the moment. I think they're selling for twice the retail price on Amazon or on eBay, because you can't find them anywhere. But if you can spot one, I spotted that one in Argos at normal retail cost, and it's brilliant. There's no faffing around. You just turn it on, play the games. All the games are built into it. You don't need separate games. You don't need separate things to save your games or anything. It's all just built into it, and it works immediately. And it comes with 2 controllers, and like the whole entire package costs the same as like a game for like the Xbox 4 or Xbox One. And because I've got all the consoles, but like my little Nintendo Mini Classic SNES, whatever the fuck it's called, that's getting way more use than any of my main big consoles. Anyway, I'm digressing again. Regarding stuff for the channel, I've started a ton of videos which I just haven't finished yet. Some of them are quite in depth, and I've been buying a lot of equipment, buying a lot of lenses, and borrowing cameras and all sorts of stuff so that I could do a big all-encompassing practical test which covers ISO performance and matching quality and depth of field and field of view across loads of different types of sensors, Super 35, Micro Four Thirds, full frame, APS-C, all the rest of it. Speed boosters included into the mix. And I've learned loads of stuff about it, and I want to get the video done, but I still need to borrow a few more cameras. It's mostly all prosumer stuff. We're not talking about high-end, you know, cinematography stuff. We're not talking about FF7s and all that kind of thing. We're just talking about, you know, Sony A7R2s and Sony A7S2 and GH5s and A6500s and all those kind of cameras that are really popular with the cinematographers, but that don't cost, you know, more than like $3 basically. All those kind of like nice sort of $1.5, $1 grand, $2 grand sort of cameras. And yeah, and for that I've had to buy a bunch of lenses. Because I wanted primes for everything. I wanted to be able to match all the different field of views and depth of fields and all the rest of it on all these different types of cameras, and so I needed specific primes to do that. I didn't want to do it with zooms. I didn't want any sort of fudginess. I wanted a prime for every single different one. And out of those, I have to say I picked up this just for the testing. That's the Olympus 25mm f1.8 for a cheap lens, second hand. Really impressed with that. I expected to buy that, do a bit of testing with it, and then sell it again. But it's really good. I'm going to keep it. It's really very good. If you want a nifty 50 for your Micro Four Thirds, that Olympus 25mm, it's really very nice. It's really sharp at f2, really sharp. And I also picked up a Canon, not one of the primes, but just one that I like the look of, the old 17-40 L lens, Canon EF lens. That's really nice. It's f4, so it's not great in low light, but it's a really good overlooked old lens. I think most people go for the 16-35, but I really like the 17-40. Really sharp and really good lens for the money. And I picked up loads of lenses. Basically, I picked up loads of gear, and like I said, I've had access to loads of gear as well. And you're probably going to see some footage to do with Inspire quite soon, possibly on my channel as well, because I'm getting involved with some other chaps that are filmmakers, and they've just picked up the latest Inspire, so we're going to be working on some projects together with that. I mean, I love my Phantom 4 Advanced Plus, whatever the fuck it is. It's not the Phantom 4 Pro. It's got the same camera as a Phantom 4 Pro, but I've got the Advanced Plus version, and I absolutely love that still. I'm really happy with that. But it'll also be fun to get some 2 camera operated. You know, get involved in that. I'll probably help him being the camera operator for his, and he'll be the pilot. But it's early days. He's picking it up and he's not flown it yet, so that's going to be something that's on the horizon as well. In terms of other videos, yeah, I mean, what else? I've got a bunch of filters, variable ND filters. They've literally just arrived this morning. Whether I'll do a video on those or not, but I'm test driving a load of cheap ones, well, like £20 ones. I normally go for like the high end, you know, £150, £200 filters, but I'm test driving a bunch of cheap ones because in my head I was thinking I could get all different size ones and then put them on all the different lenses that I use the most often, and I don't need to keep bloody swapping them and messing around with step down rings and all that when I'm going between my full frame lenses and my Micro Four Thirds lenses. Excuse me. Anyway, my point is I'm test driving some cheaper gear as well as like the top end stuff, just to see, is it good enough. If it impacts sharpness and it color casts too much, then I will I'll send it back to Amazon and not worry about it. But if it's any good, I will do a video on that and share it with you guys, because you guys might be thinking along the same lines, that you're sick of having one ND that you need to keep swapping between different bloody lenses. If you had like an ND on every lens, you know, it will save you a bunch of time and make swapping lenses a lot more of an enjoyable thing, if there is such a thing as an enjoyable lens swap. I don't know. I'm waffling again. What other stuff? Yeah, well, thanks for all the views on the storm footage. That had about like 80,000 or maybe 90,000 views or something in quite a short space of time. And it got the attention of a few different people. I sold some of the footage to the news in the UK, but also the Weather Channel in America has just bought a bunch of the footage off of me for the Stormophilia stuff, for a documentary they're doing. So that was really nice. So I mean, it's the thing about these YouTube things, you know, I put them up there and I kind of film them mostly for fun. and it doesn't bother me too much if they don't get too many views, but at the same time it's really nice when they get a load of views, and it's even nicer if I get a bunch of you know, work or money coming in off the back of it as well. You know, that's always nice. You know, this is not what I do for a living, as a lot of you guys that follow my channel closely know. You know, I'm an animator, and I'm a full-time animator. This is my hobby, fiddling around, kind of casual channel dumping ground, really, where I feel liberated enough to be able to put anything I like. I can put quite high production value stuff, or I can just put little silly stupid things that I spit out in 10 minutes, or I can do boring tests, or I can do, you know, vlogging type stuff, or I can do kind of casual filming, and I want to keep it that way. You know, I've got quite a few different other, you probably don't realise because I don't put my name to those, but I've got quite a few different other YouTube channels that I have no link with, in terms of my face isn't on them, my name isn't on them, and they are very specific for certain things. And those channels do better in terms of you know, they have a specific type of content, and you know, they make sense as a channel. They make sense for people that are coming to YouTube for one particular thing. I'm not going to promote those, by the way, because I kind of want them to remain anonymous. I don't want my name to be on them. Not that there's anything wrong with the content, but I just like the fact that this channel represents my varied interests, and those things are catered for a particular demographic, a particular audience, and I don't want the two things to overlap. Same thing with my animation work and all the sort of silly filmmaking stuff that I do. I kind of keep those very separate, so that I have a very professional, directed business life in terms of animation, but then when it comes to this silly stuff, this silly channel, it's like a pressure release. It's just really liberating to be able to do anything I like, and put it up, and if it gets views, it doesn't. If some people follow it and they find it interesting, that's good. If they don't, it's not a big deal. You know, it's nice that it's just separate and it's free. Anyway, what else? Yeah, I can't think of much else. Yeah, I mean, that's some of the big things covered. Yeah, we've got a new baby on the way, baby boy. That's pretty big news. I've probably got to that point in my life where I need to become the mad dad or the mad uncle at Christmas or something. So I've been learning some magic tricks. Don't know where that's come from. Suddenly found an interest in magic. I've never been interested in it my entire life. So that's a pretty like sad old man thing. I think that you get when you get to your I'm not mid-40s yet, but when you get up into, you know, you get close to that, you suddenly find yourself interested in things that you've never been interested before in your life. So that's quite fun. And yeah, all the kite surfing is still ongoing, and I'm out in the water a lot. You know, it's freezing cold, but I went out yesterday, and all the locals are having good fun, having you know, competitive jumping competitions all the time and stuff. You know, none of us are like pro level, but we're all solid intermediate sort of level. So we've still got room to improve, but at the same time, you know, we know what we're doing as well. So it's quite nice that we have that ongoing sort of, you know, competitive thing. And let's see what else. I'm rambling, as you can quite clearly tell, but I just wanted a sort of general chat, really, a general sort of catch up with me and talk about the channel briefly. One of the things that motivated me to do this is I had a message yesterday from one of my subscribers who was saying that he kind of forgot that I existed, and then he came back to my channel and said all these videos that, even though he was subscribing, he hadn't seen at all arrive. And yeah, YouTube has very much changed. Basically, subscribing to a channel doesn't mean much anymore. It doesn't necessarily mean that your video, the video that you subscribe to, the creator that you subscribe to, his videos aren't necessarily going to show up in your feed. I know it's ridiculous, you think that's what it's for. It doesn't really work like that anymore. You basically have to if you want to see my videos, basically click on the notification thing, because that's the only real way. Because one of my channels is a very, very small channel with, you know, like nearly 3,000 subscribers and, you know, like over 1 million views now. So, you know, it's not like it's a complete beginner's channel, but this channel is a very small casual channel, and it doesn't have that much direction. And so basically my videos will get swamped by the big channels the big channels that you subscribe to will push mine out the way without shadow of a doubt. So if you are interested in my content, like I'll put his name on the screen, but I can't remember his damn name now, but there's a guy who contacted me yesterday saying why isn't my video showing in his subscription box. That's why YouTube just doesn't work the way it used to. You basically have to use the notification if you definitely want to see a content creator's videos. And unless you're a massive name, massive channel, you're going to get basically just stomped on by the big guys, which is a bit of a shame. You know, YouTube came from individual creators, and you know, and they should they should fertilize. That's the wrong word. They should water the little saplings. That sounds better. They should, you know, they should sprinkle water on all the little saplings so they can grow to become bigger plants or trees. But they don't. They just give a shit ton of rainwater to the oaks. And then, you know, the mighty oak spreads his leaves and gathers up all the attention from all the little tiny channels that are growing up from underneath. I'm going too far with this metaphor now, but you get the idea. YouTube should encourage, you know, smaller channels more, I think, because otherwise we just get fed up and, you know, we will take our business elsewhere, which is a shame because I very much still like the YouTube formula. I like the feedback. I like the kind of whole the whole thing about it, basically. Anyway, lots of waffling, completely unstructured chat, as you can tell, but yeah, kind of just wanted a very quick general update, and I will, yeah, hopefully you'll see some of my more in-depth video nerd testing type videos coming up soon, because I've got a shitload that are 80% finished. I just need to finish the bastards and upload them, but I don't want to rush them too much because I've already put lots of work into them, and if I rush them it will detract from their overall quality and I'll probably miss something obvious. Typos is my worst thing. I pretty much guarantee everything I've ever made for YouTube has typos in it. It's just I'm blind to frigging spelling mistakes. So just don't worry about it, just chill out. As long as you get the message, as long as you understand the meaning, if I miss a letter out, you know, just don't panic. You don't need to you don't need to do none of that. You just ignore it. It's all good. Sometimes, in fact, I'm going to start putting typos in every single one from now on purpose, just to give you something to look for. It's like a Where's Wally? You can look for the typos. It will give the more anally retentive of you something to do when you're really, 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 really bored. Okay. Digression upon digression upon digression upon digression. Peace out, guys. I'll speak to you later.